Chapter 6. The Departure. The silence came first, not the soft silence between the songs of crickets or the hum of distant cars, but something deeper. A silence that felt alive, resonant, fast enough to hold entire lifetimes within its stillness. Altara. Veil floated through it like a thought unspoken. He wasn't asleep yet, the world had dissolved. The school, his room. Even his body fading into weightless abstraction. Light and shadow swirled together in currents, like two tides merging after a long war. He could still feel the echo of heartbeat and breath, but they belonged to no flesh he could name. He looked down and there were no hands. No feet, only a faint shimmer of golden threads, as if his essence was being rewritten in strokes of light. Then from somewhere beyond the quiet came a voice, soft, clear and impossibly familiar. Altar Veil, it said, "Are you ready?" He turned toward the sound and saw a corridor, endless and luminous, lined with doors, thousands of them, stretching into infinity. Some were old, wooden and cracked, others sleek and shining like mirrors. Behind each doctor pulsed faint light. Scenes from lives once lived. Choices made, moments that could have been. He took a step forward, and the floor rippled like liquid glass. When he glanced down, his reflection shifted. One moment a boy, the next an old man. Then something in between. He felt no fear. Only a woman waited at the first door. She was neither young nor old, her presence soft as dawn light. Her eyes carried the same warmth as his mother's, the same understanding as Ivy's, the same quiet amusement as life itself. "Who are you?" he asked. "Who do you need me to be?" she replied, smiling. "I don't know," he said truthfully. "I'm not sure who I am anymore." "Then you're almost ready." She said. She let him past the first door. Inside he saw his old boardroom, cold, gleaming, filled with the hum of ambition. He saw his younger self, gray suit, silver tie, eyes hard as marble, shaking hands, smiling that calculated smile. "Do you regret him?" she asked. Altara hesitated sometimes. "But I understand him now. He wanted to be respected, to matter." And did he? He looked closer. In that frozen reflection, saw the truth, the empty eyes behind the victories, the loneliness behind every deal signed. "No," he whispered. He just forgot what mattered. The light behind that door dimmed and vanished. They moved on. The next door showed his classroom. The kids laughing, trading candies, running under the sun. There he was again, small, smiling, alive, teaching Derek how to negotiate fairly. Laughing with Ivy, he reached toward the image, and his hand passed through the light like mist. That world felt real. It was real, she said. Every world where a lesson is learned is real. Altara smiled faintly. "Then maybe that's where I should have stayed." "Maybe you never left," she said. "Maybe that world was the part of you that still believes people can change." They reached the final door, a vast one carved from light itself. No reflection, no shadow. "Beyond this," she said, "there are no names, no walls, no time. Only the essence you've made." Altara looked at her at this calm, infinite presence and asked quietly, "Is this death?" She tilted her head. "Does it feel like an ending?" He thought for a long while, then shook his head. "No, it feels like release." She smiled, radiant and sad. "Then call it what you wish." He stood before the door. It pulsed faintly as if breathing. Inside, he could almost hear echoes, laughter, footsteps, voices calling his name. Ivy's laugh, his mother's hum, the sound of children playing on the blacktop. 1,000 lives in a single heartbeat. He hesitated. "If I go, what happens to them? They go on," she said. "That's what life does, and me." You become what you've built, not the empire, not the wealth. But the meaning? He took a breath not with lungs, but with whatever spark still lived inside him. And for a brief moment, he saw them all, the boardroom and the playground, merging into one golden plain, skyscrapers dissolving into chalk drawings, coins turning to candy, deals turning to laughter. It was all one story, one long negotiation between who he was and who he wished to be. He smiled. Then softly he said, "I think I understand the deal now." The woman nodded. Then go he stepped through the door. There was no fall, no rush, only expansion. The light unfolded like a tide, washing away shape and memory, leaving only essence, and in that boundless brightness, a voice his own. Yet not whispered. Redemption is not about what you gain, but about what you finally stop trying to own. The words rippled outward, dissolving into infinity. A playground stood bathed in morning light. Children laughed, a notebook sat forgotten on a bench, pages fluttering in the breeze. Ivy passed by, now a little older, carrying her backpack. She paused when she saw the notebook, the same one Altara used to carry. She smiled softly, fingers brushing the worn cover. When she opened it, there were no words, only a faint imprint of handwriting burned into the first page. Teach, don't rule. She closed it gently, the corners of her eyes shimmering in the sunlight. Somewhere far beyond her hearing, in that quiet, eternal expanse where memory and meaning meet, a warm, amused voice echoed. Light as wind through leaves. Good deal, kid. And then silence, not empty, just